about who I really am. From shark infested waters, phrases like that make me sound harder and more ruthless, but the truth is that I merely swam out the Stolos.
In my last episode, y'all saw me make a decision that was questionable to a lot of people watching, but to me, it felt like the only option I had. I risked everything, my education, my football career, and got involved in something I knew I shouldn't have. All just to take care of my situation back home. At first, it was working. I was making money and fast too. Within just a few weeks, I had already made enough money to get OG Ream off my back. But just like they say, everything done in the dark eventually comes to the light. And sooner or later, my business will put me in a situation I couldn't run from. See, one night, I was driving back to campus after making a play. Just another regular night for me, but I ended up getting pulled over for running the stop sign.
Stop sign?
At the time, I wasn't even worried. I just thought it was gonna be a simple traffic ticket. But once the officer walked up to the car, everything changed. He told me he smelled weed and asked if I could step out so he could search the vehicle. Now when he went through the car, he found some residue, but it was within the legal limits, so I wasn't tripping too much off of that. But what I wasn't expecting was for him to find a stack of money rolled up and tucked inside the door. And that's when things got real. Even though I wasn't charged with anything, the situation raised suspicion of distribution, and the police filed a report. In that report, it made its way straight to the school's compliance office and eventually to my head coach. A few days later, I got called into his office. He looked me dead in my eyes and told me how talented I was, how I had the potential to be special. He even thanked me for everything I had done for the program. But then he said something I'll never forget. No player is bigger than the program. He reminded me that before the season even started, he made it clear any off the field issues would not be tolerated. So you already know what happened next. After getting kicked off the team for what other schools would label as behavioral issues, I packed up everything and headed back home to St. Louis and finished the rest of my semester online. That 8-hour drive back gave me a lot of time to think. I tried to stay positive, but naturally, knowing I screwed up, those negative thoughts started to creep in. Like, is my football career over? Was it even worth it? But more than anything, I was thinking about OG Ream. I was going back home, back into his reach, but then I realized something. He ain't been calling me, no texts, no threats, nothing. And if you've been watching, you know that's not normal. And I didn't find out why until I got home. My mom had me meet her in a new apartment complex, and at first I was confused, but then she started telling me everything. She had been clean for almost 4 years, got herself a good job, and finally moved us out the hood. But that wasn't even the biggest surprise. She told me she was seeing someone. Now, I ain't the type to be against my mom moving on. As long as she's happy and being treated right, I'm good with it. But when I found out who it was, my stomach dropped. His name was Anthony, and he was a cop. At that moment, all I could think about was how I was still tied into something I shouldn't be, and now there's a cop right in the middle of my life. But then they sat me down and told me something that changed everything. See, when my mom found out that Anthony was a cop, the first thing she thought about was protecting me, getting me out of that situation for good. So they came up with a plan. Anthony went undercover, acted like he was trying to buy, and OG Ream had no idea who he was dealing with. And just like that, he made the biggest mistake of his life. The whole operation got set up, busted, and shut down. OG Ream and everybody tied to him got locked up, and just like that, it was over. I couldn't even explain how I felt. Relief, freedom. For the first time in a long time, I could finally breathe. And on top of that, all that money I made was mine now. I didn't owe anybody anything. But even with that huge weight lifted, I still had one question left. Where does my football career go from here? So I did the only thing I could do. I entered my name into the transfer portal, and while I waited, I got to work. Man, look, even though I wasn't on the team, I made sure I stayed ready. Conditioning, speed, strength, everything. And I'm not gonna lie, I started feeling different, stronger, faster, more focused than ever. With the kind of stats I put up my freshman year, it didn't take long before coaches started reaching out. I started going on visits, Colorado State, Missouri State, UNLV. But these weren't normal visits. They felt more like job interviews. Every coach had the same questions. Why should we trust you? Can you stay out of trouble? Are you gonna be a distraction or a leader? And I understood it. I put myself in that situation. But then, one more school reached out, and this one felt different. The University of Kentucky. I took that trip to Lexington, and I can't lie. At first, I was already sold in my head. SEC football, big stage, real exposure. But when I sat down with the coach, reality hit. Look, he told me straight up, I'd be coming in as a third string running back on the depth chart. I would have to earn everything. No handouts, no guarantees. And yeah, I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me, but when I thought about everything I had been through, nothing in my life was ever given to me, so why start expecting it now? I told myself, I'm gonna take that spot. And with that mindset, I committed to the University of Kentucky and became a Wildcat.
Watch baseball all season long. Catch the action live with YouTube TV. Terms apply. Cancel anytime.
To my surprise, after grinding all offseason, proving myself every day in and out, I worked my way up to the running back 2 spot before the season even started. And after 3 games, with the starters struggling, I finally got my opportunity. I competed for the starting job and won it. So going into week 4, I'm not fighting for a spot no more. I just gotta make sure I play well enough to keep it as I go into my first game as RB1. Yes, sir, man. First game as a Kentucky Wildcat. Now, as y'all know, I came into this season being the 3rd halfback on the depth chart. I got something to prove. So I'm finna come out here and show Coach why he should have started me day 1. Now, some people got their doubts because I came straight from the MAC conference to the SEC, but I ain't worried about none of that, man. We finna go up against Texas A&M for the 4th game of the season. Right now, we got a 2-1 record. Very first run play of the game. On with the inside handoff, I throw a little bit of my explosiveness, breaking off for a gain of 10 off the rip. I kid y'all not, man. Second play of the game. Great blocking up front, bouncing this to the outside. I got a whole lot of green grass in front of me, and I break one on my second handoff of the game. Taking this bad boy all the way back to the crib, scoring our first 6. Look, man, they gonna find out real quick that I'm the real deal. And after making that play, I know y'all got some questions, but we are playing on Heisman, man. Currently sitting at 2 rushes for 75 yards, and on my 3rd, I'm going to take this one back to the crib also. Already scoring my 2nd touchdown of the game, man. They better stop playing with me.
Boy, did he just score.
Up 14-3 in the second quarter with an outside handoff. I'll bounce it back to the inside, slip out of a few tackles before being brought down for a huge gain.
Really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37.
Also, man, let me know what y'all think about the number switch to number 18. They ain't have number 1 available, so I had to do what I had to do. Grabbing my first reception of the game, coming out the backfield. Defense got caught lacking, and the QB went my way. I eat up a chunk of that field, spin out of a tackle before being brought down in front of the 10.
Finally stopped and brought down at the 15.
We would go down and score again, making it 21-3. First play coming back from the 2-minute warning, I pick up a gain of around 11. A minute left in the half, faking the jet sweep. He gonna hand it off to me. You can see I'm getting set up with some great blocks again, breaking a few tackles before being brought down inside the 5. 3rd quarter now, and the score is now 31-10. But the QB will make his first mistake of the game, throwing an interception across the middle. A&M would capitalize, making it 17, and I guess I was sitting out of drive because we scored 2. So now it's 38-17 as I break off for a nice run, being brought down right in front of the 50.
And that'll be a first down.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got
In that very next play, being set up with some great blocking up front, again, I break off for another home run, breaking up into that secondary and beating all them to the end zone, scoring my 3rd of the game.
Take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown, Wildcats.
10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. The score is 45-17 as I get loose, finding some more open space, taking off down that left sideline, and I'm not going to get fetched, making my way into the end zone, scoring my 4th home run touchdown of the game.
You know why they handed him the ball a lot? Because he did that.
So my first start as a Kentucky Wildcat couldn't have gone any better at all. We came out here and took a huge win against A&M with the score being 52-17.
You know you're going to take care of business. You know you're going to win.
Back-to-back home games, and we were coming into this one ranked number 19, facing off against a team ranked number 24 in the nation, the Oklahoma Sooners. First snap of the game is a handoff that gets shut down for a loss of 1. But that very next play, I'm able to get all that back, picking up a gain of 15. Putting a nice job together, trying to tie this thing up, going with an outside handoff. I slip a few tackles, picking up that first down plus more. We were able to go down there and score, but they went down and scored 2, making it 14-7 as I get set up with the screen pass, but I start going backwards, losing yards. Before you know it, we facing a long 3rd and 7, coming out the backfield and sneaking into that secondary. He gonna deliver a bomb over the defense's head, and I pick up a nice gain, getting past the 40. In that very next play at a 1st and 10, I'm finally able to break one, being set up with some great blocks, making my way into the end zone, scoring my first touchdown of the game, tying this thing up again.
Once he got a step, it was all over right to the house.
Tie ball game with a minute 15 left in the half. Backed up at a 2nd and 17 after the QB taking a sack. I pick up a gain of 16. With a chance to take a lead going into halftime. With 30 seconds left in the second quarter, the QB would throw his first interception of the game. 3rd quarter now, still a tie ball game at a 3rd and 4. Going with the handoff, I hit the B gap and got a wide open seam, taking off for a huge gain. Outracing the defense and making my way into the end zone, scoring my 2nd touchdown of the game.
Wildcats. And with that one, they jump on top here in the second half.
dude has been a problem.
Up 21-14 and again putting another drive together. I hit the outside, easily get past that 10 before being brought down. We only get a field goal that last drive. Putting us up 24-14 as I pick up a nice game right here. And a few plays later at a 2nd and 1, keeping it on the ground. Again, I hit the outside and I got a whole lot of green grass. Got one person to beat and I trucked my way into the end zone, scoring another touchdown. Back-to-back wins with the final score of this one being 31-21. And as y'all witnessed, I put on another show, running for 286 yards off of 23 attempts and 3 touchdowns, averaging 12 yards a carry.
There wasn't a lot of difference between these.
6th game of the season, and to my surprise, we right back on the home turf again. And after winning 2 games back-to-back, we are more than ready to go up against South Carolina.
Watch hit movies and TV shows on YouTube. Stream Euphoria now.
A few years after high school, I don't know if life was exactly what I wished.
I was just making contact.
We end up going scoreless our first drive, and I pick up a quick gain of 7 on my first handoff of the game. And that very next play out of first down, taking off through that A-gap, I'm able to pick up a gain of 19 before being brought down inside the red zone.
Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains at depth of 22.
That's back to
Very next play, going with an outside handoff this time, taking one defender out his shoes, being brought down past the 10. He would go down and score, but so does South Carolina. And the QB would drop back and throw an interception. I missed the tackle, and he makes his way into the end zone, scoring a pick 6.
Touchdown Gamecocks! The defense does the work itself with a pick 6.
Very first play of that next drive, going with the inside handoff, I'm able to pick up a gain of
You know you can call me.